Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Jenny Halpin, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Warrant Officer Class 1 Joanne Davey. This evening, we are honoured to acknowledge Deputy Chief of Defence, Vice Admiral Theodoros Makropoulos, Hellenic Navy, accompanied by Colonel Kyriakos, Defence Attaché, Embassy of Greece in Canberra, and Mr David Lewis, Assistant Secretary, Global Partners, International Policy Division, Department of Defence. We also warmly welcome Mr Mitateti Mote, Secretary of the Ministry of Information, Communication and Transport, Republic of Kiribati, and Mr Iri Aratera, Acting Kiribati Police Commissioner, and the accompanying delegations. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial and students on behalf of the Hamilton and Alexandria College Junior Campus visiting from Hamilton, Victoria. Australia's Federation Guard is the tri-service ceremonial unit of the Australian Defence Force. They provide a ceremonial presence at civil and military events and during visits to Australia by foreign dignitaries. The Guard will now dismount the catapult party from the tomb of the unknown Australian soldier. If you are able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem.
Catafalque Party, attention! Catafalque Party, present arms!
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is got by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Catafalque Party, shoulder, arms! Catafalque Party, order, arms!
Students, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, flowers of the forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Second Lieutenant Mervyn Ray Tickner. Mervyn Ray Tickner was born in Picton, New South Wales on the 22nd of July 1894, one of 9 children born to John and Alice Tickner. Mervyn grew up in Alexandria and went to school locally. After leaving school, he became a clerk for the Goulburn Railway Department. He joined the local militia unit, and he and 2 of his brothers were well-known amateur cyclists in the Penrith district. By the start of the First World War, Tickner was working as a labourer in northern Queensland. He enlisted in the 1st Australian Imperial Force at Townsville on the 24th of September 1914. He was sent to Enoggera, where he was signed to A Company of the 15th Battalion. The battalion was sent to Broadmeadows in Victoria, where it joined the other units that made up the 4th Brigade, commanded by Colonel John Monash. Now a corporal, on the 22nd of December, Tickner embarked with his battalion from Melbourne aboard the transport ship Ceramic, bound for Egypt. After several months' training in Egypt, the 15th Battalion staged through Lemnos in mid-April before the Gallipoli campaign began on the 25th of April 1915. The 15th Battalion began landing that afternoon, but was not completely ashore until the following morning. Over the next 2 weeks, the men were hard-pressed, establishing and defending their positions, one of which would become known as Quinn's Post, named after the 15th Battalion's Major Hugh Quinn. Tickner was awarded the Distinguished Conduct Medal for a raid against Ottoman trenches conducted on the night of 9-10 May. His citation read, "During a sortie from Quinn's Post, Corporal Tickner and another NCO advanced with great coolness and courage past the first line of the enemy's trenches to a tent some distance in the rear. They killed all the occupants and cut the telephone wires which connected it with the fire trenches, thus preventing communications from the rear." During an Ottoman attack a few days later, Tickner was wounded when an Ottoman round struck his rifle and fragmented. Pieces of metal struck him in the forehead, and fragments also entered his left eye, damaging his cornea, temporarily blinding him. He was evacuated to Egypt and hospitalised for treatment and slowly regained the sight of his right eye. With prospects for his left eye uncertain, Tickner was shipped home to Australia. He arrived in Sydney in late August, and after being promoted to sergeant, he was put to work as a public speaker by the New South Wales Recruiting Committee. Tickner helped to organise several recruiting drives, in particular the Waratahs and North Coast marches. During the latter, he gave a stirring speech to a large crowd at Dungog, appealing for new recruits, describing the conditions at Gallipoli and paying glowing tributes to the heroics and bravery of his fellow Australians. Tickner was discharged from the AIF on the 3rd of March 1916. Around this time, he married Eugenie Dorothy Lewis. Tickner re-enlisted at the end of March and, being found fit, went into camp at Goulburn in early April. He retained his rank of sergeant and by May had been allotted to the newly raised 55th Battalion. On the 21st of November, Tickner was commissioned with the rank of Second Lieutenant. He was transferred to the 19th Battalion's camp at Liverpool in December, and in early January was allotted to reinforcements to the 19th Battalion. On the 24th of January 1917, Eugenie gave birth to a son, Raymond Oxley Tickner. The family had little time together before Tickner embarked on the 8th of February, bound for England. Tickner spent 2 months in England before being sent to France on the 14th of June. He joined the 19th Battalion a week later. Over 3 months, he attended several schools of instruction, qualifying as a musketry and bombing instructor. He returned in early September before he and his battalion marched from France into Belgium. 7 days later, the men were located in frontline positions on West Herk Ridge. In the early hours of the 20th September, Tickner led his platoon in what would become known as the Battle of Menin Road. By 1:50 p.m, he was in Polygon Wood, establishing a strong post with 11 remaining members of his platoon. It was while working there that Tickner was killed instantly, struck in the head by shrapnel from a German shell. He was buried near where he fell, but sadly his remains were unable to be recovered or identified. He was 23 years old. Today his name is commemorated on the Menin Gate Memorial to the Missing. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, amongst almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Second Lieutenant Mervyn Ray Tickner, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
Catapult party, shoulder, arms.
They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Catapult party, present, arms. Catapult party, shoulder, arms.
Lest we forget,
Lest we forget.
Catapult party, outward, turn. Catapult party, quick, march.
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of our director, staff, and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support during the memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.